Well, 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 what do we have here? Dungeon Saga Carton B. So, ladies and gentlemen, this just arrived, so I thought I'd share the excitement of opening it up with you. As you can see, I've already taken a sharp knife and cut open this wonderful extra strong Mantic brand tape. So let's delve into the actual box, shall we? I imagine it's going to be several boxes within a box, because there is going to be a lot of stuff in here. So, we've got some super deluxe dungeon critters. Let's zoom in a bit so you can see those, shall we? Hopefully you can see those. We've got spiders, bats, giant rats, all the kind of stuff you'd expect to find in a dungeon. Let's see what else we've got in here. We've got an awful lot of these. We've got a ton of these in here. So, don't know what I'm going to do with them. Maybe fling them to one side in an excitable manner. Get them out of the way. And let's see if this box comes out, which it does. And I think that was all that was in that box, just those extra tiles and the deluxe dungeon critters. So I didn't even need to fling all that packing material out at all. So that was just needlessly messy of me. Now I'm going to remove this piece of paper, which should give me all the contents list. Yes, it does. And it is quite vast. We've got a box here that seems to be sealed, so let's get the old knife. Slice that bad boy open. Being careful not to destroy anything. And in we delve. It's like a saga in itself going through this box, isn't it? Now then, this looks like... Oh, we've got some little character sheets here. Keeping track of your abilities and feats. Now, this particular box, I'm not sure how they're divided up, but we've got some rather juicy big stuff in here. We've got the dragon, which I'm sure everyone's seen by now. Extra delish. We've got various decks of cards in here. Uncharted dungeon, location, items, spells, several decks of cards. We've got a big pile of miniatures, undead stuff in there, trolls, skeletons and so on. We've got some of the heroes there. The little dwarf barman with the dog is in there. I don't know if you can really see through the bags. More cards, Uncharted Dungeons again. I'm not sure exactly what's what with regards to what came with the expansions and what's part of the base game exactly. But we've got a lot of probably orc stuff in there since it's green. And abyssal stuff since it's red. That makes sense, doesn't it? More abyssal stuff. That looks like a hero who is in resin. A loose base there. Blue, so those are heroes. A couple of heroes in there. More heroes. And even more heroes. Plenty of heroes in here. And more abyssals, more orcs, more undead. So presumably this is an expansion box because there aren't any of the standard pieces in here, and it's not in the nice snazzy book game box. So let's have that one out. Let's put that to one side. Now then, what have we here? We have a bag that contains a variety of things. If I can rip that bad boy open, we can start to take a peek, shall we? So, we've got some character sheets here. Very tasty. The Dungeon Journal. Not sure exactly what that is. I think there was a picture of Ronaldo the Bard in there. Don't know if I'm going to be able to find it again. There he is. That came with the Kings of War Kickstarter. Tokens. Can't go wrong with big piles of tokens, can you? And now, here, it looks like we've got some dungeon tiles from Return of Valandor. The Return of Valandor quest book. and the Adventurer's Companion. I can't remember exactly how much stuff I actually put into my pledge, but it was quite a lot. So we've got, this may be for the advanced gameplay, Adventurer's Companion. Right, I see the letters D and S. So that could mean that we're about to get to the really juicy stuff if I don't drop it. Well, there's the main game in there, right at the bottom. So, Kickstarter exclusive, this one says. So, I assume that's just the box that's Kickstarter exclusive and not all the contents. It would be nice, but I'm sure that's not the case. So let's get that nice sleeve away from it. And this is in one of those nice book boxes. Very nice indeed. And this has all of the dungeon furniture. Dungeon furniture by the bag load. Cards, more character sheets in there. I'm running out of space to dump all this stuff, which is a good sign. So in there we've got a lot of dungeon tiles, presumably. That's what it's looking like. Very, very tasty indeed. So that's the contents of that box. So let's get that bad boy out of the way. If I can find anywhere to put it. I should really clear my gaming table before I start doing these things. But when you're just a hardcore wargamer like I am, A-list celebrity, you've got to be putting out constant video content, then your game room does tend to get cluttered up with so much going on in here. Now this just looks like the base game, so we've had all the expansion stuff. Everything seems to be in order. So let's slice this open, shall we, without causing any damage. That would be very, very unwise. I'm going to keep this in pristine condition, as I generally do with all my stuff. Anyone who's seen any of my army books for various war games will know that generally there's not a single crease or a scuff mark on any of them over the years. Let's crack this bad boy open then, removing the lovely sleeve. And well, we've got a little baggie that has nothing in it. That's an interesting start. Then we've got the Dungeon Saga Quick Start Guide, which is going to come in very handy, I'm sure. The rule book, which not very thick at all, quite thin in fact. So, going to be a very easy game this. Quest book. A little Mars Attacks flyer. And what's all this stuff then? Necromancer Overlord panel for the old Necromancer. And then this is where we've got all the juicy stuff. We've got dice, we've got clips, we've got more furniture. We've got cards. We've got miniatures. Undead. The evil version of heroes, the villains. Then we've got the regular heroes in there. Zombie, troll, shaman, and so on. Character cards, dungeon tiles under that. Big old bag of doors. So as you can see, the base game only makes up a small portion of this entire lot. So with all the expansions, there is an absolute ton here. I have no idea if I'm ever going to get around to painting all this stuff. Particularly things like the furniture. I'm sure I'd probably just do it a little bit at a time over the next few years. I mean, even if you don't paint them, all the pieces are nicely colour-coded, so you know what piece represents what faction and so on. So, I'm not sure I'm going to delve underneath there right now because we know what's in there pretty much. Dungeon tiles, character cards. So, now that it's all strewn about my room in a very, very haphazard manner, I should probably kind of pack it up again a little bit, organise it, and then figure out exactly where I'm going to start when it comes to unloading it all from the bags and possibly painting some of it. No assembly required other than the wings onto the dragon, I think. Let's take a look at that dude again actually, because he is quite sizable. There he is, the old dragon with his wings. Very, very tasty indeed. So this whole Kickstarter represented excellent value. The sheer size of this box for the amount of money that was pledged is quite ridiculous. It's obscenely huge, I will go on record as saying.